What are the indications that the Federal Reserve has just started the recession? In this video, I'm going to break down the factors of why I believe that the Federal Reserve has already started the recession. Now we have to kind of catch up in our mind that the recession is here. Guys, the GDP has gone down month over month for several months in a row. Not to mention what the Fed is doing in terms of rates, but we'll get to all that. First things first, listen guys, we know that the inflation in America is going skyrocket, haywire, right? We know this already. And we know some of the causes of that, right? The pandemic, which lasted for a couple of years. We had extremely cheap cost of money. Money was super duper cheap to borrow. 2 to 3% interest rates. And of course, we know that there was lots of money that was printed because of the super large stimulus packages that were passed in Congress. We know about all that. We also know about the supply issues, right? The supply issues took a hit because of the pandemic and what was going on. So supply chain issues were rampant. And then, of course, you had the war with Russia and Ukraine and America's interests and so forth. Lots of reasons why this inflation has spun out of control. But here's the deal. The Fed has stepped in and said, you know what? We're going to try to control prices and inflation. And you know what? We are willing to go into a recession to do it. Now, they don't say that, right? They don't say we're going to throw the economy into a recession. What they say is that we're willing to raise rates, raise the cost of money so high that people stop spending. People stop borrowing money. People stop trying to go out and get loans. And so the Fed is willing to do whatever it takes to get you to stop spending. And it's kind of a balancing act because too much pressure from the Fed in terms of raising rates automatically throws the economy into a traditional recession. Not the textbook version of a recession, right? The textbook version is a few months of GDP going down. Well, we know that GDP has gone down in the last several months. But if you're not even looking at the textbook version of recession, we know that a recession is coming because of all of these other factors that are on their way. Now, the main problem with what the Fed has been doing is that increasing these rates have not proved to slow down inflation like the Fed has been hoping. So that means, as the Fed recently came out and say, that they're going to continue to raise rates. They want to see a target inflation rate of 2%. So it's going to be a while. The Fed sounds like it's committed to raising rates. And let me just say this, guys. The Fed doesn't necessarily raise the mortgage rates per se, right? The Fed raises its federal funds rate, and that in turn raises mortgage rates. But the fact that rates go up don't only affect us when we go to get an auto loan or on our credit cards or when we go to get a mortgage, but these rates also affect businesses because that means the business can't go out and get the cheap money for their business. The business can't go out and get the 5% loan. Now they might have to go out and get the 8 or 9% loan, and it discourages businesses from borrowing as well as individuals. So it has an effect on other areas of the economy as opposed to just the individual. It affects businesses. So the cost of money for that small mom and pop business to borrow is now more expensive, and they may not want to borrow that money at such a high rate. Now, not only does it affect businesses, but we know the obvious that it affects the housing market, right? So now instead of borrowing on a 30-year fixed mortgage at 3%, I'm borrowing on a 30-year fixed mortgage at over 7%, more than double what the rate was 9 or 10 months ago. Now, to put that in perspective, let's put that in perspective real quick. Last year at this time, if you went out and bought a $500,000 house, your monthly mortgage payment would be $900 less than it is today. From a little over 3% to a little over 7% means that you're paying an extra $900 for the same borrowed money this year than last year. That's a huge, tremendous deterrent for a lot of people. Now, we also know that the Federal Reserve has had 5 rate hikes this year. They've had 3 rate hikes that are 75 basis points in a row. Now, 75 basis points being 0.75%. Most economists are expecting the Fed, again, to continue to raise rates and announce those rate hikes at the next 2 meetings in November and December. So trust me, rates are going to go up. The other indication or thing that's going to happen is jobs. Because remember, guys, when the demand goes down for a product and a business has to lower its price to stay in business and continue to be profitable, then that business also resorts to laying people off. That business can't pay 25 workers anymore. They can only pay 15 workers. So they have to lay 10 workers off. And when those 10 employees get laid off, it increases the unemployment rate. Now, we know this hasn't happened just yet, but I guarantee you it's on its way. The unemployment rate will increase. The amount of new jobs are going to continue to go down like they have the past few months. You will see the unemployment rate go from 3.5% to 3.8 to 4.5 to 5. It's coming. It's going to happen because demand is going to slow because of the high rates. As the high rates start affecting these businesses who don't want to go out and get those loans, who don't want to actually borrow money at incredibly high rates of interest, and who are going to be forced to lower their prices because of lower demand, they're going to ultimately be laying people off. Unemployment will increase. You'll see it. I mean, right now you see the rich, the ultra rich, right? The ultra rich are holding on to money, holding on to cash right now. They're taking their discretionary income and they're doing slightly different things on it as opposed to some of the luxurious buying. Sure, they're out there buying luxury, but they're also holding and hoarding their cash right now to be able to take advantage of cheap assets that are going to be on the market soon, because assets are going to be going down in value, and that's how the ultra rich really get richer. When assets are on sale, that's when the ultra rich go in and swoop it up with cash. And so that's why the institutional investors, not the mom and pop like me and most of you, but the ultra rich institutional investors are moving money from the stock market to treasuries, because treasuries will offer that more safer return, that 3.5 to 4.5% safe return on their money. Now, when you see them doing that, those are indications that there's something that's going to come that's going to affect all of us, and we need to be ready. The other indication that a recession is coming is because of the housing market. As you look around the housing market, houses are slightly going down in value, not in every market, but in a lot of markets. You see the DOM, days on market, are increasing. Houses are sitting for longer than they had been sitting, right? Demand, due to the higher interest, is starting to slow down throughout the country. And that in turn, when demand goes down, the prices go down. So prices have not been accelerating like they had been accelerating for existing homes and new homes. So those prices have to go down because ultimately all real estate markets want to move inventory. They want to move houses, and they have to lower the prices to move the houses. And we see that happening throughout the country in many, many markets. So, hey, what can we do? What can we do right now as an individual? One, stop spending so much money. You have to stop spending. Slow it down. You don't have to buy every high ticket discretionary item that's out there. Listen, slow down on the vacations. Slow down on the large ticket items. Slow down on the brand new car. Relax. You need to hold on to your cash. You need to have emergency money, because we just don't know what's going to happen for sure. Maybe you can take advantage of some of the cheaper assets that's going to come on the market. Maybe you can also take advantage of some of the lowering prices in housing in terms of real estate investments. Of course, we know the foreclosure market is going to pick up as well. Perhaps if you save cash right now, you can also take advantage of some of the cheap real estate that's ultimately going to be available on the market, I believe. Be careful with your money and put yourself in a position to buy assets. But you gotta stop spending. You gotta stop spending on the high ticket discretionary items. We gotta slow all that down, guys, because we want to be ready for what's coming. The other thing is this: if you have a 9-to-5 job, you're going to find that you may be in a position where there's layoffs. Again, another reason to save money, another reason to save up your cash in case of an emergency, right? We know the unemployment rate is only 3.5% right now. But in 6 months, the unemployment rate could be 4.5%, 5.5%, 6.5%, 8%. We just don't know where this is going, and we don't quite know how long this recession is going to last. So listen, guys, in this quick video, I wanted to give you my explanation of why I believe strongly that the Federal Reserve just started the recession. Hey, Hey, if you got anything at all out of this quick video, do me a favor, smash the like, subscribe, and also drop me a comment. Leave your thoughts below. I want to know what you guys think about this upcoming recession. Give me an idea what you think. And also smash the like button for me. In the description box below, I'm going to drop a link to my one-on-one coaching and mentoring. I help individuals one-on-one in strategy sessions. Now, in these strategy sessions, our goal is to help you meet your goals in terms of controlling your money and reaching financial freedom. We deal with money management, growing your money, budgeting, building your net worth. We also strategize over ways you can start to build wealth through real estate, building your real estate portfolio, and managing your current rental portfolio if you currently have property. I'll also have my email address below as well, and you can reach out to me via email. Listen, the best person to take care of the old you is the young you. Take care of yourself, guys, and take care of other people. Until the next video, peace.